So walk number 5, Saturday the 11th of January, a couple of days after the big snow, so there's quite a lot of slush and snow left on the east side of the moor. We've come over, there's Hay Tor over there, parked just down here, Hay Tor in the background behind the car over there, and you've got Bone Hill and Chinkwell and all of that. And the plan for today is to go and look at all of these tors around here and maybe end up at Hay Tor. We'll see how we go. So here we are up on the top of Hollow Tor, I think this is called. So this is the first one for the day. The road, you can just see the road down there from Widdicombe coming over the top is where the main car park is. We just parked a little bit further down. Further along this ridge you've got Bone Hill Rocks, and then you've got Chinkwell Tor, Bell Tor in front before, and then Chinkwell. And then the other side you can't see is Honey Bag. We went over there the other day. Not sure what's over there on the skyline. Our plan is to go around here, probably down to the junction, looks like a good path, and then up onto Ripon Tor, the next one on the skyline over there, and then Bag Tor, I think that one is, and then across to Hay Tor and Lowman. Here we are then up on the top of Ripon Tor, looking at Hay Tor and Lowman over there. So there's Hollow Tor, or Top Tor, 2 names for that I think, or 2 tors very close together. So that's where we come from. The car's down in the valley there. Over behind you've got Bone Hill and Crinkwell and all of that. So we've come down the track to the road junction and then come up this path here. Quite boggy I think. Change plan, coming down off Ripon Tor. Not going to go to Bag Tor anymore, come down to the wall and we're going to go straight across to Saddle Tor, which is the one over there before Hay Tor. It's just a bit of a nicer walk I think. I think the official path is further along, but we've headed down. There's a tree and a small gap in the wall here, so the tree's your marker for that. And then we'll pick up the path, you can see it going along the boundaries, and work our way up onto Saddle Tor over there. Might go straight down to the car park and up, we'll see. All right, here we are then up on Saddle Tor, just come across Ripon Tor. The official path I think comes down and then follows down by the wall and cuts across, but as you can see picked out in the snow there's lots of little tracks. So we came across to the car park and then there's a huge track comes up onto Saddle Tor here. Alright, I think we're going to go across to Elmsworthy Rocks, which are these rocks here, and then there's probably many major paths leading us across to Hay Tor, which is where we're going, and then back across through the valley, so a bit of a trudge through the valley and climb out the other side. But, oh, here we go, Elmsworthy Rocks. So we've come off Ripon Tor, up across the road, up onto Saddle Tor there, Gallery Tor that one, and then just come across here to Elmsworthy Rocks and quarries. I've never been here before, so lots of little outcrops and things. You can see Lowman and Hay Tor just there. There's another tor over there which I think is Holes Tor, something like that. So we decided to come to Hay Tor. Ralph and I had a chat and he was very keen to come over. I've been here probably hundreds of times really. We used to do a lot of climbing on here with groups back in the day, all up this north face, and then there's lots of routes go up this side. It used to be a classic thing we used to do called the Hay Tor Loop, so you'd start on the top and you basically run down where that van is, jump the gap, climb up, run down, jump, and you can jump all the way down all of the tors. And then come around to this side, you can't really see it because it's just over the ridge here, but you've got Lowman here, which is like a 100-foot drop, and there's climbs on there that we've done. Hay Tor Quarry down in there, good swim spot in the summer, good track comes in from the road, you can see the track coming in. And then we're going to work our way down to, it's not Holes Tor, it's Holwell Tor, just on the ridge here. You can't probably see it very well here. And then we'll drop down into the valley, there's a footbridge goes across, pick up the path system on the far side and work our way across onto Hay Tor, which is on the intermediate skyline, sort of like the lump of the skyline, come down to the next ridge and it's just there. So we're going to, the dog's got a few biscuits. He doesn't realise yet is I bought him some ham, so he's going to love this. Dogs always just get the offcuts and the corners of things, so it's a real treat for him to get a big lump of ham like that. There you go. We'll be friends for a while, won't we? Do you want some more of that? How loud are we going? Not too much, not too much. I think that'll do you, mate. There you go. Good boy. I might even have a bit myself. Good. So walked down off Hay Tor and Lowman, somebody up on the top of Lowman. just down the ridge. There's a sort of like lots of mine workings here, many tracks, but you basically follow the mine system down. There's Emsworthy rocks along that ridge there. So loads of rocks there. I really appreciated how many there were there. There's Top Tor and Hollow Tor, was it? I can't remember what it's called, where we started. That was our first one over there. So the car is on the Skyline Ridge about there. We're coming out now to Holwell Tor. So here we are then on Holwell Tor. You can see the whole walk from here. So we started on in a lay-by over there, went up onto Top Tor and Hollow Tor. Can't remember the name. There's two names for those tours there. Crossed to Ripon, came down Ripon, crossed the road, up onto Emsworthy Rocks, cross Emsworthy Rocks to Hay Tor Loop, down to here to Holwell Tor, and then we're going to drop down into this valley, go up the other side, go across to Great Tor there, and then to Hound Tor, and then back around. And we'll see when we get over there how much energy we've got left, and see whether or not we'll go over to Chickwell and Honeybag. But we've been there before. It's a bit tricky coming down off the nose of Holwell. There's lots of steps and lots of little rocky outcrops. There's many different paths and ways down, but if you don't want to come straight down off the end of it like we did, if you walk back a little while, there's a really good track that runs just around to the side here that goes up that valley between these two tours, or I think there's probably another path that way. But either way, whichever way you come, all the paths kind of start to bring you together down into the woods here, and there should be a footpath crossing the river down in here. And then I'm sure eventually, whichever path you take, you'll end up down at the stream, and if you're lucky, you find the bridge. Otherwise, you're going to get wet going across here for sure. So you can't really go wrong. We're walking up now towards Great Tor, and you can see Hay Tor and Loman up on the skyline, so we're still up on the top of Loman. Okay, and then Holswell, which we came over, and we came down the front nose of that. You can see if you keep going left as you walk down, that will take you away from those rock areas. Or if you walk back towards Hay Tor off the back of it, you can pick up the track that comes down, and then you can see there's a really nice like Land Rover track that comes around underneath it. Then you pick up the path down to the bottom. When you cross the river on that Clapperstone, it's kind of thick wood there, so just leave the river behind you and start straight up the hill, and you'll soon find this path which comes up on here. And then you've got Smollicon Rocks over there and Leighton Tor over there. I haven't been to either of those yet, but we're on our way up to Great Tor, which is just up through here through the trees. It's a big path, very popular walk this. So the path splits just before we cross the wall here. So if you go up the left-hand branch, that'll carry on up, and I guess take you straight up to Hound Tor. But we've come over the wall, so we're just going to go across to Great Tor. And I'm sure there's paths linking all the way back up. Right, and I'm absolutely certain in the summer, this valley will be full of people picnicking, lots of little swim spots and stuff. So well worth coming and having a play in the summer. I'm sure you can see it, all of this hillside will just be bracken, so the paths will fill in and probably just the main path surviving. But at the minute, lots of options. I used to come, so the path takes you up, you come up the left hand side of Great Tor. There's great sort of like scrambling, climbing all over this. Good place to come on a summer's evening map. If you just want to do a little bit of stuff, bring a rope, drop them down different lines, you can have a lot of fun here. And you can see Hound Tor is only a short distance. That also is fantastic. So there's a number of paths and ways back here. You can see them picked out in the snow here. We're just going to make some ground back up to the main Hay Tor Hound Tor track. Lots of climbing up here, Mav, lots of bouldering to come and do this in the evening. Again, we used to use this a lot for climbing instructor training. And this is another one of those gallery tours, so there's a gap through the middle of it, so there's a couple of places you can climb up on here. Yeah, but you just bring a little rope and a mat, and it's literally a 5-minute walk up from the car park. And there you go. lots to keep you interested. I seem to remember a couple of problems here that kept us going for quite a while. I can't quite remember where they are now, but we spent quite a few hours up here. So as we come off the back of here, we've got some choices as ever. Okay, so over the other side here, do you see the van on the car? That's Jay's grave just there, where they're coming past there. I think that's where it is. And then we've got Chinkwell up on there, Hay Tor, the other side of Chinkwell, and then we've got Honeybag there. We were up there a couple of weeks ago, but it was thick mist and rain and couldn't see anything. But we're heading back over that way, and we'll decide whether or not we're just going to walk back up the road to the car, or whether we're just going to grab those as we're in the area. There you go, just the full extent of Hay Tor. So there's one buttress there, the gap through the middle where the dogs are running, and then there's plenty more this side. And I don't think we're going to be able to walk along the top of the ridge. I think it's going to be super boggy and wet and all difficult. So we'll go down to the road. I expect the road's going to be quite busy, and just walk along the lane until we get back out onto the moorland. So it turns out there is a track. So we come off Hay Tor, heading towards the car park, and I spotted a cut through off to the left which went to a little burial cyst. And then there are many tracks. And then we picked up this main one here, which is just off the summit ridge, you can call it a ridge, just to the right of the highest point along the ridge, which is better walking than going along the road. So if you're going to do this route, I'd take a couple of minutes and try and spy this track out. It's just more pleasant than walking along that lane, which is going to be super busy any weekend. And you can see where the road goes, where people are parked. Folks sledging out on the flank on the common land the other side. So we'll get down there, and then I'll ask Ralph what he wants to do, and we'll make a decision. And up and around to Hay Tor, which is over there. Walk back along the track, found a track along the top, but then had to do a couple 100 meters along the lane here. Super busy, everybody's parked up and sledging in the field. And then these are called Holwell Rocks here, just the other side of the road. And we're on a cut up path, so as soon as you get past the field boundaries, you're back on open access land, and then there's a cut off path that comes up through here that works its way across to Bone Hill, which is just out of sight over there. And then we've got Hay Tor and Chinkwell here, which we'll probably go up to, I think, as we're so close. Seems a shame not to do that. But you could just pick up the main track that runs along this ridge, which will take you straight back to the car, and that's what we're going to end up once we've done this excursion here. Here we are then on the Honeybag Tor. Dog's starting to slow down a little bit now. Down ridge along there, going up towards the Warren House Inn. We walked up the other end of there a couple of weeks ago. We were on here as well recently, but it was thick mist and rain, so I haven't seen any of this for some time. So Ralph and I are just about finishing off. All right, coming back, we've just got to walk back along this ridge now to get back to where we started from. So you can kind of see quite a lot of it. So we got Chinkwell Tor there, with Hay Tor just the other side of it. We actually walked up onto Chinkwell and then came across to Honeybag. I think we'll probably just scout, well, we'll probably go back up it again. And then over there you've got Hay Tor Loop, you've got Elms Rocks, can't remember exactly, Elmsworthy Rocks, and then you've got Saddle Tor, and then coming around just on the skyline over there you can just see Ripon Tor. So we've actually finished our circuit, just a little bit more to go. So a mile and a half, 45 minutes, something like that, will see us back at the car. We're going to walk back along this ridge now, back over Chinkwell, down Hay Tor, past Bone Hill Rocks, and then pick up the path along the ridge back to the car. So all the navigation's done. Coming up this way you can see there's lots of tracks, so you can come across to the saddle. So we just skirted around the farm when we left Hay Tor, a little bit on the lane down there, and then there's Hay Tor, which we can probably see if I walk across to here, which last time I was here with Helen and Ralph in the heavy mist, we did go across to that just so we could capture it. It's not worth going to again really, it was really boggy, you've got to pick your way through some farmland to get there, and it's not much of a tour, so we've already got that tick, so I'm not going to bother going back there today. so you can see the rest of the view from here. So there's Hay Tor there, just coming into view. So Hay Tor in that little bit of open land there. It's a bit weird really, because there's a little bit of open access land there, but there's not really any way off the other side of it, so it's just a little bubble in there. It's a shame there's not a link through to Hay Tor over there. Hay Tor looks quite nice from this angle, doesn't it? So come back off Honey Bag just over there and come up onto a chink well with the 2 cairns on it. Fairly big cairns, aren't they? We're just walking along this ridge now, so we're dropped off down here, down to Hay Tor, and then to Bone Hill, and then pick up the track going up the other ridge there, and the car's just along there. So basically, as you leave Hay Tor, there's Hay Tor, just a couple of people climbing up on it now. Leave that to your right and come down left of it, and then there's a path system that basically just contour around the hill. You've got Bone Hill off there, so if you come down straight off Hay Tor, you drop down to the road in a hollow, and you've got to climb back up to Bone Hill. Whereas if you just contour around, there's many paths, I think. All this area is crisscross with paths. Okay, then you can see there's a track just beyond where these walkers are that you can pick up, and that saves you losing all the height. And the Bone Tor car park's just there. You might just see the vans in there, and then it's a short walk back to our car from there. So we're nearly there. So he's found a stick and come back to life, haven't you? Good boy. Go on then. Go on then. Where's your stick? Go on. Where's your stick? Go on. Go on. Endless energy. See the car's just here, just seen a van go past. So this is the Bone Hill single track road. Here's the road down to Hay Tor. The white van's just going along. So all the 4x4s have decided they can cope with the snow and the mud and have parked off the road, whereas most of the 2-wheel drives are just parking along these roads or in the car parks. But nice day out. Still got a bit of slush about on these roads. Come on, Val. Don't know what this joker's doing out in the middle of here. Come on, hop. Good boy. Good dog. Yes, you are. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. Good dog. Good dog. Bet you're glad that's finished, really, aren't you?